change your mind. Yeah, keep you satisfied. My kind don't grow on trees. Like the high I'm feeling, you might need me to believe. Oh, I can save your time, make you wanna come inside and pray to stay for life. My kind don't grow on trees. Like the high I'm feeling, you gon' see me and believe in God herself. In God herself. Gonna see me and believe in God herself. You gonna see me and believe in God herself. You gonna see me and believe. You gonna see me and believe in God herself. In God herself. You gonna see me and believe. Said I'm on my way. You don't have to wait up for me. Know that it's late. I needed the space, just a beat. Every single day feels like I've lost my mind. Yeah. Said I'm on my way. You don't have to wait up for me. Know that it's late. I needed the space, a beat. Every fucking day feels like I've lost my mind. Said I'm on my way. You don't have to wait. Said I'm on my way. You don't have to wait. Said I'm on my way. You don't have to wait. Said I'm on my way. You don't have to wait.
Welcome back to Solidarity and Sound on ISO Radio. My name is Cam,
And I'm Sam.
and yes, together we are we are cis. So we're starting. You just heard two songs from Madison McFerrin's latest album. Hope You Can Forgive Me. So the first song was God Herself, and the second song was OMW, aka On My Way. So we were really lucky to get to chat with Madison earlier this week, and we'll be sharing an interview that we had with her to talk about the new album, performances, all of her influences, some funny stories here and there. Yeah, so we're excited to share that later on the show. How have you been? Since our last show?
I've been good. I'm deep in the new Cleo Soul releases. I don't know if you saw, but she released 2 albums in the span of like a month, and so that's what I've been up to lately. A lot of Cleo Soul. Yeah. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I've been. I'm still behind on a lot of stuff, so like slowly catching up. Trying to think what I listened to recently. I don't know. I think it's been a lot of like people have been dropping a lot of singles. Like it's September, and they feel like they have to. I'm kind of wading through those. I'm not like, I'm trying to think if there's been anything lately, but I can't, nothing comes to the top of my head.
It's okay. We'll see what you're listening to when you
Yeah,
play your mix.
very true. Well, I do also have a cellular device with that record.
Okay,
but,
Cam's pulling up his Spotify. What do you use to stream?
Apple Music. I'm on a
Oh,
I'm on a
okay.
family plan. I know I
Nice.
usually get that surprise look. um, I'm listening to some Debbie Friday's album.
Oh,
'cause I
yeah.
had that Polaris stuff last couple weeks. So she won the Polaris Music Prize, and obviously a lot more attention. I'm sure her streams have
Through the roof.
quadrupled. But yeah, I guess nothing super new. There are a couple of songs that I did put in my mix. I've been listening to a lot of No Names album as well. There's another artist, Holly Cook, somebody introduced me to, so I've been playing a lot of that. And She Bad. It's a group out of Guelph that I keep meaning to play, and I don't know if I have it today, but soon. But they're very, very good.
Cool.
Yep.
Well,
You went to Jungle.
oh
recently,
yeah.
right?
Oh, it's always wild to me how much happens over a month. But
Mhm.
yeah, Malik and I went to see Jungle maybe like 2 weeks ago or a week ago now. And their performance was it was so good. Like their like vocals and the band and everything. Like I wouldn't.
'Cause that was an outdoor
Yeah,
show.
it was at RBC Echo Beach, and their sound was so good. I was like, I think you guys are just really good, but I would also believe if this was just like a recording, like if this was the stuff we're listening to on Spotify, like it
Mhm.
sounded so similar.
Yeah.
Um,
Was it
it's-
most of like just like stuff from this recent album?
I guess I don't even remember.
Mm.
I know there's like some older songs that I like that I heard like off of earlier albums, but it was also really cool because they didn't have any like screens like projecting their like faces, because you know it's like a big area, so not everyone will like see them. So you know they usually have
I
like
see.
the screens, like
Yeah.
the like filming like the band members and stuff, but they didn't have any of that. So like they could just be like in the crowd after the show and I wouldn't know. So I don't really know
It's
like
probably an artist stream.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
really cool. And yeah, it was like really fun. So I had a really good time. And the weather was really good. The weather is still really good. It's October 1st and
Yeah,
it's
I
going to
could
be
see,
25
like,
degrees.
one of the containers has like pumpkins and
I
like,
know it
bales
looks
of
so
hay, and
silly right
it's-
now.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's at odds with what the actual weather is.
Yeah,
but
stacked is fully and it's like
That's
fall
okay.
decor.
Yeah.
But it still feels like summer. So it's like nice to do shows right now
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like the weather is so nice. But yeah, that's what I've been.
Yeah,
Listening
I think
to,
aside from
seeing.
Polaris, I don't think I've been to. Well, I don't know. I was working that event, so I didn't really get to see anything until after. But
Mhm.
I heard the performances were good. So, yeah, I think I heard a lot about like Begonia, Debbie Friday, and Sorry Nose Res Kids. I think were the highlights. Well, you also went to that show.
Yes, I was in the audience. I
Mhm.
was having a great time. Thank you for the invite.
Were there any other standouts? Other than the ones I mentioned?
For me, I think Begonia was the most like moving for me. Like Debbie Friday, of course, especially because she did a speech and she was like, I could have never, like, my imagination wasn't this big to imagine like stuff like this. Like I thought that was
Mhm.
really cool. But aside from Debbie Friday, probably Begonia, I was so like mesmerized by her voice.
My mom was as well.
Yeah, well, your
she's
mom
been
was
talking
sitting
about
beside me.
Begonia. Yeah, she's been talking about Begonia for days and how she wants to go see her in concert and all
Oh,
this
that's
stuff.
so
it's-
nice.
Yeah, it's funny because like Polaris is like, it is technically like a music award show kind of thing. But each artist that is available and attends the gala performs. I think we gave them like 7 minutes. They could do like 2 to 3 songs depending on their choice. Some did one. But I think it's a cool like showcase because you get to see a lot of different genres
Mm-hmm.
too, and stuff that you wouldn't necessarily normally listen to, or people you aren't always familiar with.
Yeah.
But I like that as kind of part of it.
Yeah,
rather
there
than,
was
like, yeah.
the band, the Sadies, I think they were called.
Mhm.
That's like, I feel like pretty different from what I would listen to. They're
Yeah.
more like folk rock. What would you classify them as?
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, so
That's their pocket.
yeah, and it's like, or maybe I would listen to them just through like life, but I wouldn't go and like watch a folksy like rock performance
Right.
unless it was like all of these artists together, which is cool, and I think good for me. But
Well, hopefully gave some people some new music to listen to. Yeah, because
Mhm.
everyone that was nominated is really really talented, and I think had really good albums last year.
On that note,
Mhm.
should we
Jump in?
transition from like talking about music to playing some songs?
Please, yes. What do you have? You said what's your first
Yeah,
track?
my first track is a new song by Olivia Dean. It was on her Messy album, which came out earlier in the year. I don't remember when. But she just released like a pack of songs. There's Ladies Room, which is the song I'm about to play, and then I think she did like a live version of it as well, and then maybe another cover. I forget which one, but there's like 4 songs. But essentially this is a song that I just missed on the album. Like I definitely listened to it, but didn't really
You
like
didn't
catch
notice.
my
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
attention. And then I saw it was like released and I was listening to it, and I couldn't believe that I wasn't already like all over the song. So that's where we're going to start.
Okay, we'll jump in and we'll come back before the Madison McFerrin interview.
Sounds good.
I would take 50% of the blame.
Nah, that's all my fault.
I left it there.
No, it's my fault. I did it.
Detail incoming.
If I didn't move it, it would have been. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Don't kick up a fuss when I'm feeling independent. Don't mean you're not enough. I thought we had some trust, so why you lying? I ain't buying that. I told you what it was. You're protecting, overstepping. No, I don't have to choose. This is way less about me and way more about you. I love being in your space. Sometimes I need some room. I won't hear you call if you call. So, darling, don't do that with me. I need you to see, darling, you still belong to me. And it's not that deep, trying to lose my head. So good I forget, even if you left, I'm not going home yet. You've been sleeping on me, won't get out of bed. Even if you left, I'm not going home yet. Yeah, doing it for me. Put myself on top, that love on top, bring me some release. And it's that therapy. It's okay, no, you don't have to give me everything. I got everything. You're projecting, overstepping. No, I don't have to choose. This is way less about me and way more about you. I love being in your space. Sometimes I need some room. I won't hear you call if you call. So, darling, don't do that with me. I need you to see, darling, you still belong to me. And it's not that deep, trying to lose my head. So good I forget, even if you left, I'm not going home yet. You've been sleeping on me, won't get out of bed. Even if you left, I'm not going home yet. Not going home. Not going. Make me lose my breath. Make me water. Make me sweat. Make me harder. Make me lose my breath. Make me water. Normally, I could keep my cool, but tonight I'm whining. I'ma be in a dangerous mood. Can you match my timing? Telling me So show me that you understand I like it. Can you blow my mind? Set off my whole body. If I give you my time, can you snatch my soul from it? I don't wanna wait. Come take it, take me where I ain't been before. Can you blow my mind? Set off my whole body, whole body. Easy, please don't make a scene. That's easy for you to say to me. You try to tell me how to act right, but I don't really care right now. You try to tell me keep my voice down. Don't bother, baby, they'll find out. You say I'm ruining a good night, but I don't really mind at all. You think I'd rather have a good time? No, I don't really mind at all. Easy, please don't make a scene. You say please, baby, don't make this a thing. There's no issue then, this should take no time at all. Why can't I just know that nothing went wrong? Why is it don't be crazy? Now thank you for caring. Eyes on me when I'm speaking. I'm not just one of your friends, show some respect that. You try to tell me how to act right, but I don't really care right now. You try to tell me keep my voice down. Don't bother, baby, they'll find out. Don't you dare tell me that you're busy. I could just sneak in after she's. We don't even gotta speak of her. You don't even gotta call me afterwards. Let's fuck it up a little. Let me fuck you up a little. Hey, let's fuck it up a little. Let me fuck you up a little. Hey, take your time on me, time on me. You know I want it, If you don't mind, baby, let's get it on. 'Cause you know I'm with it. With it. I know you wanna fuck with me. Let me drain you of your energy and take you to infinity and beyond. Stay a little longer. If I didn't want the dick, then baby, I wouldn't have called you. Don't play hard to get with me. I ain't tryna meet your mama, I ain't tryna meet your family. Don't be catching feelings. This is just a one-time thing, or two or three. Let's fuck it up a little. Let me fuck you up a little. Hey, let's fuck it up a little. Let me fuck you up a little. Hey, take your time on me, time on me. You know I want it, If you don't mind, baby, let's get it on. 'Cause you know I'm with it. Everything I do it with a passion. If I gotta be a bitch, I'ma be a bad one. I'm AI with the designs, do rag. Bounce back, game good while we talking practice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pull up score when I want to. Best thing that's to heaven. They be tryna count me out though. I'm just counting blessings. A real woman by the paper. Niggas don't know where I came from. Where I really came up. You never could say I'm lacking. All the shit I've been through only made me more of an assassin. I kill him with compassion. And baby, if they asking, tell them, I go crazy. Crazy. I go crazy. Live for the challenge, only makes me stronger. One more reason to turn up on them. I go crazy. First things first, I hope you rolling up. When we get faded, I can open up. I've been drowning in my dreams again. Fooled me once, can't fool me twice. But it'd be nice. I can't decide if I should trust my heart or trust my eyes. It's a fight. I know my worth and we're on a ride, but I'd be satisfied with who you are inside. So won't stay here tonight. Keep falling into me, and I'll keep falling into you. When I feel spaces we could fill, gravity pulls me down back to you. Hate up goes on, I don't need a cosign. I believe in soul ties, we've been here the whole time. And the bottom of my heart and my head over you is a battle, but I'm so tired. What I'm gonna do when I knew I could take what I want to the west side. The room is getting bright, the things I've been ignoring are coming to the light. You could fly by, stick side by, that's my guy. See it white eyes, falling into me. Deep in my pocket, ain't no breaking this a telly. Don't got a man, but I got niggas on my celly. They got a script and it's the same thing that they tell me. They wanna cater to me like Michelle and Kelly. They want me, but I'm not the one to choose. On a scale of 1 to 10, love is a 1 or 2. They want all my loving cause it's underused. They be like, then we can I get under you. I'm eating good and you can see it in my belly. Prada on my neck, I'm walking by and you can smell me. He said take off all your clothes, but this nigga not Nelly. Thumbed up with my cash up, case he has something to send me. Shit is automatic, little bitch, this ain't no semi. I got all these choices, be like you need money. Told that nigga go home, you a Roger, you a Kimmy. I like shit direct like a deposit, where's the stimmy? Deep in my bag, it ain't no Birkin, it's a telly. Don't got a man, but I got niggas on my celly. They got a script and it's the same thing that they tell me. They wanna cater to me like Michelle and Kelly. I'll push you away so you can pull me back to you. I wanted to know how much you care before I give it up to you. We can try some new things. I've been meaning to pass you by, stop my mood swings. I just needed some act right, cause a big scene in my bed, putting on a show for you. I wanna twist, I wanna bend over you tonight, holding my hand while you in it deep, stroking the side. Don't close your eyes, we in private, it ain't nothing to hide. I'm going wide, if you catch it, get the ultimate prize. I might hit the gas if you push the pedal. I won't lie to you, that shit something special. After round 2, I think we unlocked a new level. If If this was fucking Olympics, baby, you'd win a gold medal. If this was fucking Olympics, baby, you'd win a gold medal. Show room, slow moves. Should be going, baby, but I want to go speeding through the grapevine for you. I'll be going, oh, I'll be going. 45 on the east side. Something about them curves reads my mind. Sense and sugar, ooh, that's my delight for the night. Sweet tooth, babe, you. I will let you drive out of running out of time. Put you in this love song. Can I taste your yummy cherry so cool, old school. Colors flashing, passing in the rear view. Cold blowing through the grapevine for you. I'll be going, I'll be going. 45 on the east side. Something about them curves reads my mind. Sense and sugar, ooh, that's my delight for the night. Sun gleaming like my soul shine. Take the 110 to the I-5. No destination, I'ma let it ride. I'll be going. So cool, old school. Colors flashing, passing in the rear view. Cold blowing through the grapevine for you. I'll be going. 45 on the east side. 45 on the east side. Sense and sugar, ooh, that's my delight for the night. 45 on the east side. Something about them curves reads my mind. Sense and sugar, ooh, that's my delight for the night. 45 on the east side. Something about them curves reads my mind.
Tell me that you want it. Show me that you're honest. Hold me in this moment, yeah. And keep me to the morning, baby. Can we make a promise? Cause I don't wanna miss the rain. Say you'll never pause it. Say I'll never walk away. I've been searching for you, waiting for your face, working for you. Baby, you put me in place. Love when you're looking up. Yes, baby, show me that face. Strong, how you hold it down. Baby, you keep me in place. You keep me. You keep me in place. I ain't breaking it down. 'Cause you keep me in.
Yes, Big Papa, you've been making me feel safe, no drama. to grow up and face what's inside. I just hope that you never stop trying. Ooh. Go baby, go baby, go baby. Hope that God forgives your sins, your sins, your sins, your sins. Go baby, go baby, go baby. Gotta keep moving on, even though you're not here, not here, not here, not here. Go baby, go baby, go baby. Hope that God forgives your sins, your sins, your sins, your sins. Go baby, go baby, go baby. Gotta keep moving on, even though you're not here.
And you are back with us on ISO Radio, and you just heard a mix from Roshani, and Go Baby was the last song you played.
Yeah, the Cleo Soul. It's off of her, well, not her latest album because she released one. She released 2 in September, but one of the albums that was released
Somewhere
recently.
in there, it's all the gems.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
really love her music, and so it was hard to pick just one. But yeah,
There'll be many. There'll be future shows.
yeah, exactly.
It was when I was on that Amber Mark binge. I would play a song every show, and then I just
Yeah.
ran out of songs. So we
No,
don't
now
seem to
it's-
have that problem, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
I feel like now you can cycle them in again. 'Cause it's been a while.
For me too. Yeah, that's fair. So I mentioned at the top of the show that we got a chance to talk to acclaimed singer-songwriter and producer Madison McFerrin. So throughout her fruitful independent career, spanning 3 EPs and multiple collaborations, Madison McFerrin has earned accolades from The New York Times, NPR, Fader, and Pitchfork, who named her a rising artist in 2018. Her genre-bending style led to Questlove dubbing her early sound soul Appella. In addition to a stirring performance on the renowned Color Studio, Madison has also performed at Central Park Summer Stage, the Brick Celebrate Brooklyn, and shared stages with the likes of De La Soul and The Roots. Off the stage, Madison's music has been featured in Broad City and Random Acts of Flyness. Working at the intersection of artistry and community building, Madison's also done some curation with the Brick Jazz Festival in 2021 and 2022. So ahead of releasing some new music in 2023, she's had a couple of sold-out shows in New York City and LA, where she is based. So yeah, we got to talk about a lot of different topics. Talked about kind of the realities of touring, leaning into like the idea of like play and experimentation, especially with her doing music production and arrangement. And then we got to ask a couple of questions about her album that came out in May, I Hope You Can Forgive Me. Madison also has a Toronto show coming up on October 18th at TD Music Hall. So we'll jump into another single from the album called Please Don't Leave Me Now, and then we'll hop right into the interview. So stay tuned.
What is all forgiven when it's said and done? Could it be we're living all wrong? Taking it for granted till we're begging, please don't leave me now. I ain't ready, I won't lay you down, no. So please don't leave me now, leave me now. Do you think it's over?
So you're locked into Solidarity and Sound on ISO Radio, Toronto's news community-driven radio station. We're returning with a very special guest, New York-based acclaimed singer, producer, leader of the hashtag Tri Tribe, and central figure of this debut album, I Hope You Can Forgive Me. Madison McFerrin, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm actually, as of a year ago, Los Angeles based.
Oh,
Ooh,
big change.
Yeah, big change. Although I am originally from California, but the pandemic pushed me into retiring from cold winter sooner than I had anticipated. So,
That's fair. And
honestly,
we understand.
congrats.
Yeah. We haven't learned a particular lesson just yet, but
Exactly.
We're based in Toronto, so
Oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
yeah, the weather has just changed, and it's pretty, like the leaves are changing color, but everything besides that is not fun.
You want to hear something embarrassing?
Always.
Okay, so like I said, I just moved to LA only a year ago, and I've lived in places with cold winter my whole life, with the exception of me being like 2 years old. And so I went out on a few tour dates like 2 weeks ago. And the day I left Los Angeles, it was like 90 degrees, literally. And I packed my suitcase, and I was so proud of how well I packed my carry-on suitcase with all my clothes. I was like, yes, girl, you know how to do this. You're a world traveler. And I get to Chicago, and the second day I'm there, it's cold. And I'm like, wait, why is it cold? I had forgotten about fall. I had only been gone for a year, and I had like totally forgotten about fall. I'd packed these cute little like summer light things, and then here I am being like, oh wait, no, September, mid-September is when it starts to get cold again, Madison.
But that still happened. Yeah.
Yeah, you repressed all of your fall winter memories.
I did, and I love fall. I really love fall. It's my favorite. I was prepared for when I go out next month in October. I'm like, okay, October, cold. I get that. But I forgot about September. I was embarrassed, but
Did you do like a shopping spree since you needed clothes?
My aunt that I stayed with actually had a sweater that fit me perfectly that she gave me, but then it ended up being kind of warm in other places. So like it worked out to be more or less okay, but there were definitely a few days in there where I was like, what the fuck did I pack? This doesn't make any sense.
I love it.
It's a lesson, but a hard lesson learned. So we'll jump into a couple of different questions, but I guess for me starting off, for folks that don't know you, how do you usually introduce yourself, either as a musician or otherwise?
I would say I introduce myself as a singer, songwriter, producer, but when I'm just introducing myself in a general sense to someone, I would refer to myself as an artist.
And yeah, so I think it's just been like a very interesting journey, I think, for like me also as a host for this show, but also as a fan. So I think I saw you live in December of 2019. You were playing with Tiger Bomb.
Was that the Drake? Is that
it was at the Drake? Yeah, it was the Drake. And yeah, I think you'd had like your usual set with the loop pedal, and I think I was just like blown away just like how you were managing to do all of that live. And I think the crowd is really like into just you like building everything from scratch. I think that was like the first time I'd seen that kind of thing. So I was just curious about like how was the transition for incorporating a band into like your newer live shows, and are you experimenting with different setups?
Well, it's been a really fun transition. I wasn't really anticipating doing the solo stuff for as long as I did, but I think because people seemed really drawn to it, I kept doing it. And also, as an independent musician, traveling with just me in a backpack and like only having to pay for my stuff is also very economic. So it made a lot of financial sense. but transitioning to being with the band has been really fun. I was in a band in college, so this is the first time that I'm really getting back to being a front woman in that way. And, I get a lot more latitude to play with the audience and play with the separate musicians. And, one thing that I think is really cool and special about playing with bands is there's something new that happens every show, just like little tiny sprinkles of things that the audience might not notice. Maybe they do, but especially for me to like hear fun little ideas that the different musicians come up with just because they're inspired by something. That's a really fun thing to experience and to play with.
Yeah, definitely. No, I can see that you can kind of make those little tweaks or try something out one night versus another, and kind of trying to not necessarily perfect it, but just kind of,
Like bouncing off like creative energy is cool.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like create a new energy depending on like the crowd that you're playing to, as well, which seems like a fun space to kind of explore.
Totally.
So I think what I've like always like appreciated about like the kind of a cappella songs that you've done, and have kind of built, the way you approach, well, I guess just that it is something that builds. It isn't always like a completely, like a complete like produced package. There's often like a level of, like you're saying, and experimenting with playing live shows with a band. There's a level of play that isn't often shared with audiences. So I guess like jumping a little bit back to like the loop pedal, when you first kind of picked that up, what was kind of the level of curiosity? Was it something that was you felt was like daunting, or did you feel like it was something you can kind of leverage, and play into that like creativity?
So I think when I first got a loop pedal, I was just really curious, and I was interested in playing with it. The concept of it was intriguing to me, and I was pretty surprised by how taken I was with it. I think it's because, I can play the piano, but I'm not like the most proficient person. It's mostly a songwriting tool for me, and it's not always the easiest thing for me to get out the ideas that are in my head in with the piano. I can more or less, but I can do it much quicker vocally. So with the loop pedal, I was able to create the chordal structures quickly in a way that was like because I could hear everything and I could just like sing it back, versus like trying to figure it out on the piano, like needing to sing it and then play it on the piano. That's like one extra step, and so I was just really enjoying that element of ease that I was feeling. And on top of that, um I it was much easier for me to explore. I think that's one of the, where I have a bit of a hindrance with the piano. Like I'm not about to sit down and like improvise on the piano, but I have a lot more comfort with a loop pedal and improvising in a way to be able to find things. And I thought that that was really cool and interesting. And when I started doing the acapella stuff, which was really more of an accident, more or less, it was not intentional, but it seemed like that was kind of a niche that nobody was really tapping into in the loop pedal field. So I just kind of went for it.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I think I was looking at, I don't know, I think this reading about play, and I didn't write down who the actual person was, but it says like it is through the process of play that we become who we are as adults, and it's through the process of play that we're able to adjust. Yeah, we're able to kind of adjust to who we are. So I think it's,
Totally.
yeah,
Totally.
definitely telling that it's, yeah, something that you just like you feel comfortable to be able to like create those sounds. You don't have to feel fixed to a certain sound that like a piano makes, or a certain instrument or a plugin, but
Absolutely.
be able to kind of create that.
There was also this other element that I learned after I had already been doing it, where like in transcendental meditation, you're repeating like a nonsense sound over and over and over again. And with the loop pedal, it's like I have to, that's what I do with that. You know, you're just kind of like singing these like random not words most of the time in a repeated fashion. And it definitely became a super meditative state for me personally on stage. And I think that that also probably translated to other people, but like I I'm pretty sure that that's a part of what drew me into it, because I was, I don't know, like unintentionally hypnotizing myself. Unintentional meditation, which I think is I'm into that. I need more unintentional and intentional meditation in my life.
That reminds me, I forgot, I don't even know if I've told you, Cam, but I have also seen you live, I'm pretty sure. Maybe also in 2019 or maybe 2018. When you came to Toronto for this like radio project called I Stole the Soul, and you were interviewed by Paul Chin.
Yeah, I love Paul.
Yeah, and I feel like you performed as well
You
when you
did.
were there. Yeah,
And
and
what, Baby G's, is that what that place is called?
I couldn't even tell you.
The
I'm
Baby G. The Baby
unlocking.
G is is
I
a
don't
venue
know
on
if you
like
were
the
there.
I don't even know how I'm remembering any of these names, but I'm feeling really smart about it.
good recall.
Appreciate
Yeah.
Perfect recall.
that was an interesting show because there were these two guys, like burly white men with long hair and long beards, like with like Harley Davidson shirts, like total biker looking dudes, and they were so into it. They were like super into the show, and I was like, you do not look like my normal target audience, but like
Yeah.
whoever wants to feel the vibes, I'm down with it.
I feel like you're unlocking these like strange memories I'm having now, because I think I do remember who you're talking about.
They were there. They were
Yeah.
there.
I feel like I was at a table not far from them. But yeah, I feel like when you said it was meditative, I feel like I felt like a similar thing, just like watching you perform that day. So it just reminded me of that.
Sweet. I'm into it.
Yeah. I had a couple other questions around like live music before we start talking about your album. So right now you're touring the States, you're coming here to Toronto October 18th, and then you're heading to Europe, which is a lot. So we wanted to ask, how are those shows going?
It is a lot. Next week when I leave town, I'm gonna be gone for like 7 weeks, like 7.5 weeks, something like that, which is definitely the longest I've been gone on the road in one go. But hey, this is the life that we sign up for. But they've been going really fun. They've been with different configurations of bands. And this is like the first time that I'm like really traveling with other people in that respect. I before was traveling with my manager. But it's cool to like have different energy, which is fun. And we have a lot of fun together playing the music. So they've been going really well. The audience has seemed to be really receptive of it. I'm always shocked that people like know my music. So it's really a blessing to even be able to fathom this as being my life.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was saying I just got a haircut before recording this interview, and I was talking to my friend that was doing my hair, and she was like, "Oh, what are you doing after?" And I was like, "Well, I'm interviewing this artist, Madison McFerrin." And she was like, "Oh, I think I've heard of her." And she was like racking her brain for why, and she was telling me that she is pretty sure you're coming up in her algorithm now. So you're everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's what we love to hear.
Yeah. So I also wanted to ask around like the touring right now. Do you have any stories that illustrate what it's like to be an independent artist on tour? You kind of hinted at it before. And I know recently you shared like a Philly vinyl debacle on Instagram, which I found very entertaining. So just wondering if you have any other stories in the vault, or if you want to retell that one, I won't be mad.
I mean, I would just say go to my Instagram or TikTok and watch that vinyl saga, because it's like 10 minutes and each detail is important. But long story short, you know, trying to get merch to places so that people can buy stuff, which is one of the main ways that I make money as an independent musician, is not as easy as one would like to think. But I think that one big thing that most people don't really realize about being on the road, I think that there's like this assumption that it's like this glamorous thing. Or people be like, oh my God, you get to travel the world. Like, what are the most exciting places you've seen? Like, did you get to do this? Did you get to do that? And it's like, I'm lucky if I get a day off where I can sleep in, let alone like go sightsee, which is great. I do try and always make a point of getting good food. That is like a thing where it's like, no matter where I'm going, it's like, I'm going to do my absolute best. If I have the time, I'm going to get a good meal. And I definitely have kept that reputation with my bandmates as well. I'm like, you will, you will only know me to expose you to good food, if anything. But I what a tour is like flying to a city early in the morning, getting to the hotel. Hopefully the hotel room is ready, but maybe not because it's probably 9 a.m. Taking a nap and then going to the venue for sound check, hanging out in the green room, playing at the show, and then doing the merch afterwards, and then getting back to the hotel at like midnight to then take a 4-hour nap to wake up to catch another 6 a.m. flight. It's just like you're in a lot of Ubers, a lot of planes, trains, automobiles. It's very not glamorous, and it's really amazing when you get just like a day off to, again, sleep and not do anything else.
Yeah, visiting a place to work essentially is like very different than just like for leisure.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I forget what artist it was, but there was somebody that has just like stopped paying attention to like what cities they're performing in, and will just ask like like the tour manager, like,
who are you?
Before I walk on stage, what city are we in? And it's just like
Totally.
paying
You lose
attention.
it.
Yeah.
You lose it. You absolutely lose it. You don't know where you are, what day of the week it is, what the date is. Like, you just get back and you're like, what has happened? Where have I been? You're in different time zones constantly. It's really taxing on the body too. Like, that's another thing, is like, especially as a vocalist, like, I really have to take care of myself. I have to make sure that like I bring vitamins and I bring things that'll help me in case I get a cold, or if my voice isn't feeling that good. It's like there's so much self-care that goes into it as well. And I can only do my best because I can't afford to fly business anywhere. So it's like, how can I get the most comfortable sleep in coach? The best I can ask for is a window seat.
Are there concerts or events that you've attended as an audience member that has really shifted your outlook or approach as an artist on stage?
There have been several, man. I am so inspired by going to live shows. I mean, I just saw Beyonce on her birthday, and
oh my gosh, you were at that show.
I was at that show. I was at that show, and it was insane. And like, I'm obviously not about to be Beyonce, nor do I have the aspiration to be that type of pop star, or superstar in her case, I suppose. But just seeing what types of productions are possible, like, that's inspiring. It's inspiring to see, like, I just saw this artist Sen Morimoto last weekend at a festival, and it was just him and a drummer, and like recognizing how dynamic that can be. And I also just get inspired by people who clearly are just like having the time of their life on stage. It's like I get super inspired by seeing my friends. Like, seeing my friends perform is always awesome because I'm like, I know that person and they're killing it right now. So it would be hard to pin down like any one particular performance, because I definitely feel like I take something away from every live performance that I see.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
that's a good, yeah, a good thing to kind of take away, I think whether you connect with the music or not, like you do get to see a lot of what people try in terms of like different types of music and different setups, and if they are independent or backed by like a larger production, but you see what those kind of choices you can make and how that kind of impacts you, whether you kind of realize or not.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, this this is a little grim, but I feel like now more often than not when I'm watching a live show, I'm thinking about how much the production value is and how much it costs because it's like it is so expensive to do anything. Like
Mhm.
to have a band, to have a sound engineer, to have lights, to like travel with extra gear, like it's so costly. So not lots of times when I'm watching things, I'm like, wow, this is so expensive. I hope these people are getting paid.
I find myself like the same wheels are turning often. Like
Yeah.
all the time for shows. I got married recently, so any wedding Instagram thing I see, I'm like, no, this is so expensive. How are they
Right.
doing
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just finished so we have a music award in Canada called the Polaris Music Prize.
I've heard
Um
of it.
I was on the team to help produce that show. It was last week. And yeah, just realizing like we're in a new venue, so like everything costs something, and it's I don't know, you need to pay somebody to even just like plug something in, even if it's like
Right, yeah.
or like a speaker. So like you have to be mindful of like all of those pieces and how that changes like the type of production you put on compared to like what you planned or like drew out as like a concept. So I find that like yeah, you do have to kind of make those choices to see what is going to be the best kind of show, I guess, as much as you can. Yeah. But yeah, I guess with that, we'll jump into some album questions before we wrap up. But so you just released your debut album, I Hope You Can Forgive Me, in May. So we wanted to, and I think I'd read, like you've talked about releasing an album as kind of a definitive um, statement. So kind of wondering, what did you notice about your own process through releasing like the previous EPs and singles to producing this like full project?
Um, well, this was the most robust project, obviously, that I've put out, and that also gets down to like the amount of people that were working on it, that were working on the rollout. I had a much bigger team uh, at the helm, which was really helpful. Um, Also, just the amount of time that everything takes. Like, this is the most that I had, like, all this lead time. Like, the album was done um, like a year before it was finished, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And some people say that's best practice. Some people are just putting things out super quick now. The music industry is in this place where literally no one knows how to do anything because it's always changing. So you're really just trying to stay on top of stuff. Um, Also, it's just like this is the first time that I'm releasing stuff where TikTok is so prominent. So it's like needing to pay attention to that is a whole other thing too. So it's just like there's so many different moving pieces, and being an artist is really hard in general, and I think we're making it even harder with all of the different ways in which we have to promote ourselves in order to have a viable career. Um, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. All the other ones were a lot of work too, but this one in particular was like really full steam ahead in a way that obviously I understood, but it's like once you're in it, you're like, okay, and here we go.
Yeah, it could be like a very different experience than like you have in your head. And I remember like the first few songs I'd listened to, like Fallen and Try, and kind of the things that you were building with like the color show performance and kind of all of these other pieces, and you don't really know which songs or what like video or what performance is gonna land like a new audience for you. So I
Yeah,
can definitely see
totally.
that there's a lot of, you have to kind of be everywhere. Um, yeah, to be able to kind of maximize that reach.
Totally.
Yeah, what you said about TikTok reminds me of a TikTok sound I saw recently. I'm always referencing TikToks on our show. And the sound was like, I'm a small business owner, so unfortunately I'm a content creator and here's my content. And it's just like their flowers or like whatever. And that kind of feels like what
It's
you're
so
talking about.
frustrating. It's so
Yeah.
frustrating. And like it takes a long time to make a TikTok, you know? Like that actually takes a very long time. And like especially if you want to add a bunch of shit on it, you know? Thank God they have the auto captions now because to do that before was such a pain in the ass. And like they definitely have improved and they've made it more user friendly, or not that it wasn't user friendly before, but it's like ones that have a lot of stuff happening, like they take forever. And I just the other day um came up with this template for me to use for uh my shows going forward because there are so many of them and I just don't have the time to make an individual new video for every single thing. So I like made this little jingle where it's like, if you live in, and it's like insert city. Come on to the show. And I put the text where it is. And but I was just like, I'm just gonna do that over and over and over because to produce multiple videos, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time.
Yeah. You gotta automate yourself.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
I don't
has
have a big
time.
team.
Yeah.
I don't have like a social media content creator person to like do this for me. It's like I gotta do this. I gotta be on the road. I
Right.
gotta do all of the other things. So you're gonna get my little jingle over and over and over.
Yeah, and like on top of all of the things that you do that you just mentioned, you also produced about 70% of your album, I heard.
I
Uh,
did.
yeah, that's like even more tasks. So I'm curious, how did you get into production?
It really was because COVID happened and I wasn't on the road. I had spent the majority of 2019 on the road. And funny enough, January and February of 2020 was like the first bit of downtime I'd had in like almost 2 years. And I was supposed to start tour mid-March. And obviously that did not happen.
Yep.
But I had all this touring lined up for 2020. And when that all went away, I'd had the production gear and had like been messing around with it a little bit. But I just needed a place to put some of my creativity that I wasn't able to do in my live shows. And I really took to it and I enjoyed it a lot. And so Stay Away From Me was the first song that I finished on the album. And I remember finishing it and being like, oh, I actually think I could do this. Like, I think I have some beats that like could be pretty cool. And so I just, once I made that decision, I just went for it.
Are there other like areas of music that you want to strengthen or explore considering like production has gone so well?
Well, I definitely just like want to become a better producer. Women only make up 2.8% of producers in the music industry. And, you know, I think eventually I would love to produce for other people, not just myself. Um, but yeah, I think that's like, I really do want to go in on that skill. And would also love to, I don't know, maybe I'll be on Broadway someday. There's a little musical theater
Ooh.
inside of me. My
Love it.
brother was on, my middle brother, Javon, was on Broadway. He was in Hamilton, and the Motown musical and some other stuff. So I don't get to claim to be the first McFerrin on Broadway, but you know, I could still be on
It'd be a
there.
notable one. It's still
Mhm.
there's still room.
I love it. I guess the next question I wanted to ask you was if you could tell us a little bit about one of the songs on the album, specifically Please Don't Leave Me Now. I know a little bit, but I'd love to hear it in your own words.
Sure. So, in November 2021, my partner and I, we were driving from Brooklyn, where we lived, to Chicago, where he's from, which is a drive we'd done so many times. Couldn't even tell you how many times. And when we were about 90 minutes away from Chicago, I was driving I merged from the right lane into the left lane, hit a patch of black ice. We spun out 360 on the highway and then flipped upside down into a ditch. And it was the scariest shit I've ever experienced in my life. For everyone listening, always wear your seatbelts, because it was the difference between maybe us not being here and us just like securely hanging upside down. But we walked away without a scratch, which was really phenomenal. Shout out to Toyota Prius crash safety. RIP our little blue Prius. She was beautiful. But I walked away with a new lease on life, and I had just been in the studio with Andrew Lappin. He produced that track. We had just been in the studio maybe like a month and a half prior, and had made that song, that beat. And I think maybe like 4 days after the accident, I started writing that song. And then when we got back together, because again, I was living in New York at the time and he lives in LA. I think when we got together like that December or something, I recorded it and was like, this is for everybody who wants to feel grateful for life at the moment. And, you know, I might as well, if I'm going to make some music about a traumatic event, we might as well dance to it, right?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like at the beginning of our interview, you mentioned like kind of like playing off of other musicians and being inspired in that way. And then there's also the flip side of like very traumatic things that can lead to art as well. It's like,
I mean, honestly, like writing music is probably where I express myself most freely, to like let go of trauma and grief and emotions that maybe have built up inside me that I'm not comfortable speaking. I can sing and write those feelings much better than I might allow myself to speak them. And it's a very cathartic thing. You know, it really just helps release a lot of stress. And yeah, it's therapeutic. That's definitely the best thing I can say about it.
yeah. Can I ask another question?
I'm not your boss.
I don't
but
know.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm basically holding up Cam's final questions.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
I just have the one anyway. So
Okay. Well, I won't keep you for too much, but as you're saying that, I was wondering, does performing the same music like come as naturally as writing it? Like, do you feel comfortable on stage and sharing those same thoughts, or is that still like, does it not like work the same way?
I am probably my most comfortable, truest self on stage. Like that's probably the most authentic version of Madison you're gonna get. Off stage, I go inward a little more. Not to say that that's inauthentic. It's just like, you know, that's just kind of the energy of what happens. But no, I feel wholly comfortable sharing all of these things on stage. I end up making like half of my set wannabe stand up because I don't know what else to do with the airtime.
I do remember that. Yeah, I remember a lot of you trying out jokes and most of them landing actually. So
I just really like to engage in laughter. I think that's probably one of the greatest gifts that I got from seeing my dad on stage, is like he's always being funny. Like that's, I mean, not 100% of the show, but like there is not a show that goes by where there is not a lot of laughter. And so I think that I've just honed that as being like a necessary part of my show. And I really love that energy. I love like engaging in that, and you know, obviously I love singing too. That takes the cake for sure. But you know, I just want people to feel joy, and like laughter is one of the best ways for that to happen. So you definitely, when you see me on stage, you're seeing the 100% truest Madison McFerrin. Unless I've had like a super bad day, then maybe you get like 95%, but otherwise you're getting top grade.
But I think that's a really good point to make. So it reminds me of like the shows that are like seared into my memory are the ones that I've had not just like seen a good performance, but like I feel something, whether that's like the in between banter or just like the crowd itself, like there are those non-performance elements that does like elevate that experience. So that, yeah, I think that laughter definitely, I think for you really adds that to a lot of those memorable shows.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Totally.
Because it's also stuff like you're just not going to get on like Spotify.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
you know,
right.
you have
Also,
to.
I think it shows my personality. You know, it's like obviously
Mhm.
people can listen to my music, but it's like I want people to know me as well. I am a human being with my own thoughts and interests outside of music, and you know, I I really want people to be able to experience my full self. And I think that that just adds to a level of engagement with the audience, because I never want an audience to walk away thinking that like I'm a bitch or like super standoffish. Like I know that like in personal settings I can like be kind of introverted, like I said, but it's like I I really want people to feel the love that I feel for them because I'm just so grateful that they have taken time out of their day to listen to me sing and to like let me just like in a sense like trauma dump via music that hopefully makes us all feel better. But I think that's important, you know, just to be able to have that kind of energy and like connect with everyone on a very human level.
Mhm. Definitely.
Mhm.
And that makes, yeah, I think that makes a difference. I think that's comes through your fan base as well.
Thank you.
Just like that's the space like they I say they, but like us that we like to access. So I no, I think that's something that I think makes a huge difference for sure. Can I ask my last question?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
done.
So so you have a show in Toronto on October 18th at TD Music Hall. So just a small plug for that. But our last question is just what's the best way to keep in touch with everything that you're up to?
Let's see, the best way to keep in touch would be to follow me on all the platforms at Mad McFerrin. I'm not at Madison McFerrin. She's a college student in Wisconsin. Um, don't get it confused. Um, and yeah, that's probably the best way. You know, you can also like I have a newsletter you can check up on my website, those types of things. But as a, you know, regular millennial artist, I'm mostly just like on the socials. But I update those often, and or as often as I can, because you know, can't be out here all the time with the content. I
Mhm.
do my best. I do my best. But yeah, you know, that's the best way. Go to madisonmcferrin.com for tickets. And yeah, that's
Okay.
probably the best way.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the
Mhm.
time with us. And yeah, we hope that the rest of the tour dates go well, that folks laugh at your stand up, and yeah, just that you keep well. So thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's nice chatting with y'all.
And that was our little chat.
Mhm.
That was fun. It went much longer than I anticipated, which was
I got lucky.
yeah, very lucky because we never know. Yeah, I know sometimes like labels are very picky about like we end at this time,
Which is
whether
like
we're late or you're
good.
late or whatever. This
Yeah.
is this is the schedule. So no, it was a very like relaxed conversation. It was really good to like learn about, especially a lot of like the touring stuff and just like the realities of what that looks like. Like she went through that
Mhm.
process of like checking into a hotel. You might not know what city you're in, but I'm gonna make sure I get like good food. Just like those little things you have to try and
Yeah.
adjust. But yeah, it's because she was doing a lot of tour dates as well too. So it's and also about to jump into like a European
Mhm.
leg of that too. So different time zones and jet lag. We're thinking about you. So hopefully that all goes well. And definitely recommend listening to I Hope You Can Forgive Me. It's not super long, but I think has like a lot of tracks with like a lot of impact, a lot of like what she was talking about with experimentation and like layering and production. Her father, Bobby McFerrin, is the only feature on the album, which is pretty cool. And I'll plug once again, her Toronto show is going to be on October 18th at TD Music Hall. So that's coming up in the next couple of weeks.
We'll be there.
We will
cheering
be there.
Madison on.
Yes. So we'll jump into some more music to close out, I guess, the next part of the show. But we'll pop back in before we go.
Yeah. What are you starting off with?
I'm starting off with some Fugees.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
1, 2. I'm about to set this off like this. Hip hoppers, check it. Another MC loses life tonight, Lord. I beg that you pray to Jesus Christ. Why? Oh Lord, Father, don't let him bury me. Whoa. I horn MCs like Mephistopheles, bringing swords of Damocles. Secret Service keep a close watch as if my name was Kennedy. Abstract rap, simple with this street format. Gaze into the sky and measure planets by parallax. Check out the retrograde motion, kill the notion of biting and recycling and calling it your own creation. Feel like Rockwell, somebody's watching me. I got no privacy, whether on land or at sea. And for your biting zealots, your rap's a cacophonic. Hypocrite, predict, but deep inside you wish you had the pop hit. It hurts, don't it? A refugee come to your turf and take over the earth.
Yeah. See, my rhymes are the type of fly rhymes that can only get down with my crew. And if you try to take lines or buy rhymes, we'll show you how the refugees do. Yeah, behold, this my old manifold on your rhymes. Two MCs can occupy the same space at the same time. It's against the laws of physics. So we bet your sweet dreams break up like eurythmics. Rap rejects my tape deck, ejects projectile. Whether Jew or Gentile, I rank top percentile. Many styles, more powerful than gamma rays. My grammar pays like Carlos Santana plays Black Magic Woman. So while you fuming, I'm consuming mango juice under Polaris. You just embarrassed, cause it's your last tango in Paris. And even after all my logic and my theory, I add a motherfucker so you ignorant niggas hear me. And remember, take notes, cause I sold my rap oats before you biting zealots. Here's a quote.
Another MC losing life tonight. Oh, I beg that you pray to Jesus Christ. Why? Oh Lord, Father, don't let him bury me. You can try, but you can't divide the pride.
I ain't a city girl, I'm from the outskirts. Southside ATL, out of town. Backpack, you can set it on the counter. Bigger X, you can be my money counter. Ain't from around here, yeah. Have you swimming like a flounder? Yeah. If you need a little bouncer, like Kitty King, like a double quarter pounder. Yeah. Twitter 20 on my lash, apple bottoms on my ass. Chevy truck parked in the lot with about 5 stacks of my cash. Ain't gotta tell you what's in my cup. Might be something, but I ain't drunk. Keep the pressure tucked, don't excite me. I'll make it spray from the trunk. Think I know what you're looking for. Promise I got what you want. Just in a crooked little fun, yeah. I ain't a city girl, I'm from the outskirts. Southside ATL, out of town. Backpack, you can set it on the counter. Bigger X, you can be my money counter. Ain't from around here, yeah. Have you swimming like a flounder? Yeah. If you need a little bouncer, like Kitty King, like a double quarter pounder. Yeah. Oh yeah, put the yeet to the home. Yo girl got you crying at your meat to the Mars. Ain't heard, I be moving like I'm free from the law. Shotgun got me rocking like I see to the soul. NSC in the dark. Got a daughter named Christina. My middle name is Tina. Go down for some water. Have you sipping on sangria? I can take you on the road. Maybe do a do-si-do. Keep a horse on my back so we don't need a rodeo. Think I know what you're looking for. Promise I got what you want. Just in a crooked little font, yeah. I ain't a city girl, I'm from the outskirts. Southside, ATL, out of town. Backpack, you can set it on the counter. Bigger X, you can be my money counter. From around here, yeah. You swimming like a flounder.
But you still come around like I see what you started, I know what you promised. You're on and you're popping like soon as you put your feet to the ground, I lace you with a packet, I allow some of that was the same back then as you are now. Let's hope you stick around. Come on. Yeah, I see you shining, nigga. Go and get yours. Yeah. Say when you come around, and don't forget about me. Yeah, it's your world. I see you shining, nigga. Go get it. Make sure you see me when you touch down. I'm still
Fresh out the bed in my slippers. All my niggas is niggas. Brush my teeth while I figure how to get up on these riches. Cause the Acura's rented, and I need something more tinted. Hop in the whip and we been it. I call that whip Betty White. Old white thing, like money they countin', I see it. Broke as fuck, but we dreamin'. Out the window, I'm leaning. Get out my lane, and when I get it, ain't gon' change, my nigga. I'ma still be the same regular ass nigga talking that.
I bet you feel so high, got your head in the cloud, but you still come around like I see what you started, I know what you promised. You're on and you're popping like soon as you put your feet to the ground, I lace you with a packet, I allow some of that was the same back then as you are now. Let's hope you stick around. Come on.
I'm a window for homies. I know all of them watch. Time and time again, reminiscing, remembering blocks. I used to walk around on them. It's been a while, now we back. Gotta speak on it. Used to throw all my dreams in the air. My mind a hula hoop going around, but got nothing to spare. Nothing to waste. Head in the clouds like I was high on that grape. I'ma pull up in something ignorant. I promise, just watch. Enough to make mama worry about them profiling cops. But I can't change. I was raised by the old ones. And when they see me, they be like, what you know, huh? Don't forget all your family and where you came from. Money change, your spirit shouldn't change none. Yeah, I know it, I'm dope. All my homies, they dope. Malcolm man and Kami, I'm humble as Gandhi though. Straight out my mama, came out of a straight out of Compton flow. I'm an animal on it with Anderson, I love you, Bo. We on that. Go on, shoot your shot, show 'em you can box. We won't ever stop, that's that puffy in me. One up to the block, headed to the top. Got them things slapping in the car like who that coming around the way? Come around the way. Damn, you fine as hell. Come around this way. Roll the window down. Yeah, I like a brown. Really light a brown. Where we going now? Up the way where the boys at. Don't wear your good clothes, cause the homies that smoke that. And my homies all know that. My head's in the clouds, but my feet ain't left ground yet. Like, yeah, I'm good with all the fam. If they bet against me, tell them put the money in my hand already. Banging on the cans, break it down. And everybody, what they saying now? I play you out of your bronze. They have you running up the blinds, taking they pom-poms, cheering for me and my team while we eating on wonton, squeaking like Miyagi. I shine like the sun, so who you sponsor? I told him I'm a monster like Luke Cage. Take a shot and watch me walk away with just juice stains. You used to tell me you just wait for your time.
And a dark day hits once more in disbelief at the depth of the skies. Can't open my eyes. Nothing holding me down, yet this weight inside reminds me I'm actually sinking. I've been thinking about the future, feeling things I didn't used to. I was free, not before, but after my fall, free to believe in words I didn't mean. Just to get by, I'd rather die than to cry. It's a hard life. It's a hard life. It's a hard life to make me happy. bruised when it's buried, I'm cut when it's open. I don't think the end is near, but here's hoping a sign. It won't be the last time, but the learning is making me stronger. A little longer, I've been waiting. All this shit's so frustrating. I was free, not anymore. Facing things from before. I tried to believe in words I didn't mean. Just to get by, I'd rather die than to cry. It's a hard life. It's a hard life. It's a hard life to make happy. Straw that broke the camel's back. Don't think I can live with that. Always seem to fall harder than before. Let's take it back 1 second. Remember when I had that patience? Why you be so jealous? Ain't seen no congratulations. Hell no, you gotta go too slow. Body's up when I say so. Boy, there's a door, get gone. I ain't gonna follow. It's not my job to make you feel comfortable. First of all, baby, it's not my job if you ain't being vulnerable. It says it all for me. It's not my job to make you feel like the man. Boy, you need to stop. It's not my job to make you something you are not. I'm not the type of girl to wait around. So when you're gonna hurry up, say what's up. Only thing that I ain't got is time. So no, I don't like the way you run your mouth, talking about your man enough for all my love. Boy, this isn't working, I'll resign. It's not my job to make you feel comfortable, baby. First of all, baby, it's not my job if you ain't being vulnerable. It says it all for me. It's not my job to make you feel like the man. Boy, you need to stop. It's not my job to make you something you are not. Never been my job, never been my occupation. I can do that all by myself for your information. Call yourself a king when it comes to relationships. Say you want forever, we'll get your act together. It's not my job to make you feel comfortable. First of all, baby, it's not my job if you ain't being vulnerable. It says it all for me, baby. It's not my job to make you feel like the man. Boy, you need to stop. It's not my job to make you something you are not.
bit, up a little bit. Yeah, that's nice. Just a little more, just a little more, just a little more. Yeah, just a little more. Hey, just a little more, just a little more. I go my way, you go yours. You taste real life, I taste yours. Sweet at first, but after a while, too much sugar, they say it's bad for your style.
From the south side, summer's outside, chillin', west side. You know what I do, yeah. Flicking my thighs too. Baby, you so jealous of me. Topic saline, dripping in the weed. Paddock on me, yeah, yeah. Please don't touch me, yeah, yeah. You say I don't feel no way. Baby, what you mean that I don't feel no way? You want sympathy, but I don't feel the same. All my bitches with me and we paved our way. Cinnamon and sugar, yeah, I made this way. I'm going crazy. Think you know me, but you never met me. Can I play me? I've been back from when I was a baby. I'm going crazy. Think you know me, but you never met me. Can I play me? I've been back from when I was a. Meet me outside. Let's see if you're bad when I pull up in my ride. Tell me what you gon' do when I put it on you. Well, are you feeling jealous of me? Stop it, silly. Can't see me for free. Let's you bout it, yeah, yeah. Are you really bout it, yeah, yeah? All my bitches feel that way. Pay for all our shit and we don't feel no way. Always with the shit, no, I don't play no games. Miss me with that shit, please, no, don't come my way. Unless you got that heart, then you can't come my way. I'm going crazy. Think you know me, but you never met me. Can I play me? I've been back from when I was a baby. I'm going crazy. Think you know me, but you never met me. Can I play me? I've been back from when I was a.
I got it jealous, I can't help it, no, it's not my fault. You could do better, so do better, go and prove me wrong. You out here politicking with the ones that's out to get me. Bitches all in my face, and you the one they first to mention. Know that's your new girl, call and tell her, hold on. Almost bought you a whip so we could get our roll on. I find it crazy, I thought of you as my road dog. I showed you off and it turned you into a show off. I'ma have to stop without you, 'cause baby, I'ma do what I want to do, baby. I won't be stuck without you, baby. Going to the club with my crew, baby.
I'm going crazy. Think you know me, but you never met me. Can I play me? I've been back from when I was a baby. I'm going crazy. Think you know me, but you never met me. Can I play me? I've been back from when I was a baby. What's it? Tell me. I want
So people, I hope you ready for. I'm out for the night, smile for the lights. Looking for a taste and I end up with a slice like PL mode. I'm fresh and I'm froze. My chain hang low and my reps pure gold. I'm nasty and nice, a wolf on the mic. These sheep say I'm bad, but they flock for a bite. Let's midnight mirage, we out with the claws. Howl at the moon and we glance at the stars. We up in the way, top tier every day. They pause and we play, we ball and they fade. We rockin' over here, it's jumping over here. Them other niggas gold, but we shine like veneers. I brush off those whack little haters like black. With the elemental P's and the P's that be black. With the element of freeze, so please stand back. Tell me, can you rock it like that?
Yup, yo, tab and app, time to get the strap. Hit him off with the click, clap, Mortal Kombat. I'ma slap him with the boom bap, type of format. Told him niggas step back, need some power maniacs. I'm the black Power Ranger, baby, you could call me Zach. That's exactly how I flip the lyric, rap acrobat. Battle rap, ready to attack, heavy impact. Nigga, I'm a Thundercat, you know where my number's at, number one.
One is for the love, two is for the soul, three's a magic number, and four is forever. Five is so alive, and six is in the mix. So people, I hope you're ready for.
I slip on the scene, I'm slick and I'm clean. Slide off the green like my money's Vaseline. The mood is supreme, the ladies looking nice. They're rolling with the team, yeah, we got it feeling right. You all we on tonight, cause the itch don't stop. We blowing up the spot till the roof go pop. We something and they not, they warm and we hot. They sink to the bottom and we rise to the top. We doing things she just talk about. We making headlines, she just word of mouth. We knock it out the park and you striking out. with the elemental P's and the P's that be black with the elemental free. So please stand back. Tell me, can you rock it? Can you rock it like that?
Yup, real shit. I could rock it like this. 3-pointer hit a 3. Yes, indeed, it'll swish. I be deep in the abyss. I am Pisces, the fish. When I'm dick up in a bitch, it be heavily bliss. Oh yes, look at this wicked shit that I spit. Too long, one tongue, 2 lips, larynx, killer lyricist, rock the fatal linguistic. On my 1-2 shit, never on that 2 list. We number 1.
1 is for the love, 2 is for the soul. 3's the magic number, and 4 is the take it now, the color. Taking your time and your worth. Come on. Let the rain come down and wash it all away. Let the rain down. Let it overflow until the levee breaks. Baby, tell me we're gelling before we die. I'm buying whatever you're selling. Come on, let's ride. Come on, let's shake that out. Thunder, change it for better or for better. Take out all, take out all, take time and work. Come on, let the rain fall down, yeah. Let the rain come down and wash it all away. Come on, wash everything away. Let it overflow. Till the levee breaks. Move your body side to side, up, down, left, right. Move your body side to side, up, down, come on, left, right. Move your body side to side, up, down, I can't decide if it's you or I, baby. We'll leave behind. All I know is you save me loving what I thought I would have found, baby. Lost track of time, but I made up my mind, baby. Tell me what the fuck I'm supposed to do. You say you love me, but you don't give a clue. I can give a fuck about your past and your nigga. In fact, I put your ex in the garbage and put a bitch on the map. I'm singing up your imperfections I don't like. You chase rumors, hating the advice. I could give a fuck about them lies. Cross me once, I'm cutting like all ties. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes in the pool. Then it go 5, 6, a couple strokes with the butterfly hips. Then it go 7, 8, fuck a tie cause a nigga can't wait. I'm going 9, 10, we both know he was never just friends. I can't decide if it's you or I, baby. We'll leave behind. All I know is you save me loving what I thought I would have found, baby. Lost track of time, but I made up my mind, baby. Missing little mommy, you tripping with Lahi. We fuss and we fight, then we fuck the next morning. Get hit in Ferrari, we petty and horny. I tell her I want it, I want it, I want it. I'm gone, off the bed. I'm the one you calling me then with the dress. She want a big dick nigga with the bread. Oh, pussy fire had a young nigga dead. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes in the pool. Then it go 5. There is no need. I walk these streets amongst lost souls. I know there is no space without no more. It's so written, that's how it goes. No point in resisting.
out control. Had to dip out and into my zone. Listen closely, what's that sound? Rising up from the underground. Their heads ain't lost, but it ain't been found. Ain't in the habit of sticking around. Ain't in the habit of sticking around. Stuck in the middle. I have been pushed and I've been pulled. There is no fooling me no more. No way. I have been pushed and I've been pulled. You have no say no more. I walk these lands with open mind and eyes I find. The more conclusions, the more I just feel confined. No more wasting time on your negative vibes. Trying to stay aligned. I'm trying to stay aligned, stay aligned. Listen closely, what's that sound? Rising up from the underground. Their heads ain't lost, but it ain't been found. Ain't in the habit of sticking around.
Real hit man, not an amateur. Was a young boy, but now I'm mature. Change the economy, give me the currency. Everybody pay double, side hustle, main hustle. Put my hands in every pie. Everybody around me certified, bonafide. Certain money can't buy. Even if they wanna try, they know that they can't try. He wasn't looking at me, he had a cross eye. He wouldn't wanna cross me, wanna cross eye. He wouldn't wanna cross me, while I be like. Where I come from, we grew up on chicken and rice. The games that we play, when you're on the field every day, there's no need for no exercise. It gets real hot, must stay hydrated. Wet that block if they violate it. The way we pulled up, they couldn't even gauge it. Get away clean with the 4 we staged it. I link my guy, he knows where the base is. He used to hold my teeth, I used to call him braces. This life we live is all about your choices. A man went crazy, started hearing voices. It gets real hot, man need aqua. J-Hus activate all your chakra. Open the book to the next chapter. Heard him talk grease, but I didn't care. Won't take long to make him disappear. No, he's not greasy, he's a teddy bear. Don't put him anywhere. If you stay prepared, you ain't gotta get prepared. Girl, link me after she get a manicure, pedicure. Hit the road and cause a massacre. Real hit man, not an amateur. Was a young boy, but now I'm mature. We were just sitting on the furniture. I was just checking her temperature. Asked her what she do for a living. She said, baby, I'm an entrepreneur. There's a lot of girls, but you're the one I prefer. If there's a problem, she come to me first. I'm the only man you need in the universe. Make the bunda bounce and then put it in reverse.
Let me tell you what I wanna do. Let me show you that I feel you. Wanna sex, wanna ride with you. Wanna taste when I put my lips all over you. Can't get enough of you. Always thinking of you. So sweet, so very wet. So good, girl, you make me sweat. Girl, I'm talking about bitches and cream. Oh, that's right. Know what I mean? Peaches and cream. Girl, you taste so good to me. Oh, oh.
I never thought that I would be so addicted to you. On top, underneath, on the side of you. Better yet, baby, inside of you. I love the way you're just flowing down, and I can feel it all around. In the front and the back of you. Ooh, I love the taste of you. Girl, you know what I'm talking about. Know what I mean? Peaches and cream. Ice cream. Know what I mean? Peaches and cream.
You know I can't get enough. Wanna taste it in the morning when I'm waking up. Like peach cobbler in my stomach when I eat it up. Got your legs around my neck so I can't get up. See the boys 112, we from the A. When it comes to eating peaches, shawty, we don't play. So all the ladies in the house, if you're piece of shit, put your hands in the air, represent the clear.
Ooh, that's right. Girl, you are so tasty. Tasty. Oh, girl, you taste so good to me.
She can't love like I do if she don't say me to. I need you to me too. Baby, can't take you home. You got ways to
by their own damn beers. If you want to toast to the life that you live, pour enough shots for the whole year. Jet black hair, baby, jet black hair. Matte black Jeep with the Rubicon grill. Ooh, it's been a while, baby, don't go there. Ooh, it's been a while, baby, come here. Shape like pear, baby, jet black hair. You bought the drinks and I paid no care. Hold a nigga down, don't go nowhere. Ooh, it's been a while, baby, come here. We peeking. Hands above us, feels like someone lifting me. We peeking. Arms like covers, feels like someone singing for me. Yeah, we going in the front of window sills. I don't mind if they watch, I don't care. Who gon' love you when your love ain't there? Baby, that ass is just unfair. Jet black hair, baby, jet black hair. At least 2 grams of your blunt wrap there. These 2 hands always land up on the small of your back. Should I ask if eyes can go there? You bought the drinks and I paid no care. Couple more shots, we can all get to bed. Yes, Lord, like you living on a prayer. Play too much, baby, come here. We peeking. And the coldest part is I'm not even there. I watch your feed, but I don't feed into that. Just give me the news. I miss all the parties, but I'm still the best dressed.
As the call on the post back.
Growth, what I need before I know what I want. You gotta go. I can't stay for this year. Boy, you wrong. Love lost its way. Nothing left outside. I need something new. I've had enough of you. I'm feeling green lately. All I see is green money. Got me feeling green, baby. I'm in need of harmony. Give me hope and spirituality, a feeling of safety. I need my peace. It's in a space where you can't be. Need to fly free. Be selfish again. It's only my hands. Get back on my bed. Cause what I do, nobody can. Chocolate queen serving looks, ain't got brains. Hustle like you never know, we ain't the same. Yeah. I've been feeling green lately. All I see is green money. Got me feeling green, baby. I'm in need of harmony. We just ain't the same, yeah.
And that last song was Green by Nami, as a Montreal artist. It's a new track.
I like it. A new find of yours, or you've been listening for a while?
New find through work things.
Nice.
But on repeat, for sure. Yeah.
Well, this is our time. It's almost 2.
Yes, and we'll be passing things off to Ace Dillinger for a new episode of Dilly's Dose, a new haircut, fresh shirt, new announcements. And then we'll have Teflon Dawn to close out the day on ISO. So our next show, this is Solidarity and Sound. I'm Cam.
And I'm Sam.
And we do the show once a month, the first Sunday, and our next show will be on November 5th. So join us back then when it will probably be worse weather. But
oh my gosh, don't talk about it yet.
Sorry, but it's
just
true.
Enjoy the sunny day we have randomly.
It's the reality that we're going to have to deal with. So so we're going to play one more song from Madison McFerrin. It'll be the song Utah, and I think it's maybe my favorite at the moment.
I've been listening to Run a lot. It's hard. I actually really like them all. Not saying that just because she was our guest, like genuinely.
Yeah, so we'll play that to close out, and then you'll start to hear, we'll switch over to Dilly's Dose. So stay tuned.
Something about the desert, it must get you heated. Seems we can't escape delirium. Caught between the canyons, you make your body echo. Everything we hear's been said and done. Thought that it was over, thought that we could make it across the Colorado line. But I was mistaken, and I'm over waiting for you to make up your damn mind. Gotta get out of Utah, gotta get back home. But is Brooklyn any better? Or should we be alone?